For the past 3 years, they've been the undisputed kings of English football. A relentless force, a tactical masterpiece under the visionary Pep Guardiola. But now, a dark cloud hangs over the Etihad Stadium. The mighty Manchester City, once invincible, seem to be crumbling before our very eyes.
Well, more now on Manchester City's 2-1 defeat to Brighton. Pep Guardiola has lost 4 straight games for the first time as manager. And in the press conference, he was asked if an unprecedented era of success was coming to an end.
What was once a fortress of dominance started to show vulnerabilities. The once impenetrable defense seemed porous, the once lethal attack toothless. Pep Guardiola, the tactical genius, has always been one step ahead. But even the greatest minds can falter. His intricate tactics, once the envy of the football world, seem to have lost their edge. Player rotations, tactical tweaks, and experimental formations have left the team disjointed and uncertain. Pep Guardiola finds himself in unusual territory as he tries to work out how to turn things around at Manchester City after a surprising slump following 8 years of almost unbroken success. When Guardiola confirmed in late September that Spain midfielder Rodri would miss the rest of the campaign with an anterior cruciate ligament injury, it felt potentially seismic. City's squad is packed with talent, but Rodri is the man who makes them tick. He is on a personal unbeaten run spanning 52 Premier League fixtures. Last month, the 28-year-old won the men's Ballon d'Or award in recognition of his achievements with City and Spain. Guardiola has also been without a clutch of other stars this season. Kevin De Bruyne returned as a late substitute against Lisbon, his first appearance since mid-September. Oscar Bob, Ruben Diaz, Jack Grealish and John Stones did not travel to Portugal, while other players have also been struggling with injury, including Kyle Walker and Nathan Ake. Silva said before City's match in Portugal that they would never find excuses, but even a club with their vast resources do not have ready replacements for players of the quality of Rodri and De Bruyne. Manchester City have dominated English football for the bulk of the past decade, breaking records after record under Guardiola. They became just the second club to win the treble of Champions League, Premier League and FA Cup in 2023, and last season became the first club in history to win 4 straight English top-flight titles. Guardiola's hunger for success appears undiminished, and he has transferred that desire to his players, winning the Premier League in 6 of his 8 full seasons at Etihad. The Catalan said in August that he and his players go into each campaign driven by a desire to get even better despite their remarkable success. Always you can improve, always you have the desire to individually be better, he said. I want to be a better manager, and the players want to be better individually. It's easy to exaggerate City's crisis. They're second in the Premier League and well-placed in the Champions League despite Tuesday's defeat. But any slight drop-off in motivation can prove fatal in the ultra-competitive world of Premier League. Before Guardiola, only Alex Ferguson at Manchester United and Jose Mourinho at Chelsea had managed to retain the Premier League title. The hearing started in mid-September, but the verdict of the independent commission is not likely to come back before 2025. Guardiola has been bullish in his defense of City, referring to his deep bond with the club, but he must be desperate to shed the unwanted distraction. Apparently, Manchester City are bad now, and everyone is scrambling to work out how they didn't see it coming. Defeat to Liverpool makes it 7 games without a win, including 6 losses. And there is an increasing sense that there are fundamental issues in the makeup of this City squad. So, how did we get here? And what are the biggest transfer mistakes Pep Guardiola's side have made in recent years? No one is saying that finding an adequate replacement for Rodri is easy or even possible, but the City have completely failed in their search. His absence remains the most obvious catalyst and facilitator of the recent decline, even if it's far from the only reason. While some will argue that City has made signings in central midfield, Matheus Nunes and Calvin Phillips are both very different players to the Spaniard, as is the returning Ilkay Gundogan. Mateo Kovacic has been the most convincing replacement, but he's injury-prone, inconsistent, and at his best, slightly further forward. Bernardo Silva and Rico Lewis have also both been used as the base of midfield, but their lack of height and physicality is an insurmountable obstacle. The lack of a capable elite pivot was agonizingly obvious against Liverpool, as City were turned over in their own half repeatedly. Even if the replacement didn't have Rodri's offensive capabilities, the defensive impact of his absence is catastrophic and must be resolved in January. Hindsight's 2020. But selling Cole Palmer may well be remembered as one of the greatest transfer snafus. It's easy to say that City didn't see his rise coming, but why should they be let off that easily? This is a player who had been on their books since 2010. They were well aware of his capabilities and potential. To say that a team member which is so lacking in creative spark and freedom did not need a player of Palmer's free-willing genius is just false. Not finding space for him is an inescapable failing, and one they should already be regretting. When Bayern Munich came calling in 2023, there was a clear opportunity for City to move from Kyle Walker. This summer, he was also linked with the Saudi move, amongst others. It has been a great 6 years, but the captain is rapidly declining, beset by off-field distractions of his own making and repeatedly at fault for key goals. This would have allowed them to commit to Rico Lewis at right back, or more saliently find a younger, more capable replacement in Walker's mold. Instead, they are stuck with a 34-year-old who has built a deservingly well-beaten career. On a pace and physicality he's losing by the day. This is nothing against Nunes, who is a perfectly serviceable Premier League midfielder, but his £53 million signing in September 2023 was bizarre. The Portuguese had been good in his sole season at Wolves, and Guardiola had once called him one of the best players in the world after City beat Sporting Lisbon 5-0 in the Champions League last 16. But he has failed to make any real impact or show any real improvement since his move. Now, utilized as a left midfielder, he has started 6 of the 7 winless matches, and despite a good goal against Tottenham in the Carabao Cup, he has clearly not settled in the role. The question now is, can Manchester City recover from this slump? Can they rediscover their winning formula and reclaim their position at the pinnacle of English football? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. The downfall of Manchester City is a story that will be analysed and debated for years to come. The curtains may have fallen on a glorious era, but the story of Manchester City is far from over. The club's ambition, its financial might, and its unwavering pursuit of success will ensure that it will rise again. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe. We post anything and everything around football every other day. See you later.